Tad Boyle, the coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, who are now on top of the Pac-12, 8 wins in conference play. Coach, how's it out there in Boulder, man?
Everything's good out in Boulder. We got a little snow on the ground, but it's nice. It's sunny today, which is real nice.
Coach, they're gonna believe this. It snowed in Atlanta on Saturday, Coach. Believe it or not.
Did it really?
Yes,
wow.
it did.
Believe
it or
rain
not.
Country. Yeah. They don't get much of that white snow down there, do they?
Not at all, Coach. Not in
Nope.
in my 34 years of life here in Atlanta, Coach. Not much snow other than that big one in 2013. But it's rarely if ever we get snow here, Coach. Rarely if ever.
I hear you.
Now, Coach, you're middle of your team leading the Buffaloes, Coach. Tell us, what's been your greatest accomplishment in your mind leading the Buffaloes the past 10 or so years here?
Well, this is a great place to go to college. I mean, the University of Colorado. Obviously, we're at the base of the Rocky Mountains, and we play in a great conference in the Pac-12. We get to travel to wonderful cities, on the West Coast. And but Boulder's a great place to go to school. We got a major airport. Denver is a major city, which is at an unbelievable growth over the last 10 years. And it's literally 20 minutes down the road. I mean, so our players can come here, be part of a big city, but also be in a small college town like Boulder. And they love the Buffaloes here. It's a great college town. They support us, and it's just it's a great college experience. And so when you put all that stuff together, we're not in SEC country like you are down there, but out here in the Rocky Mountains, Boulder, Colorado, the great thing for us is we get to train at altitude.
Yes,
and
indeed.
The Olympic Training Center is about an hour and a half south of our campus, and I always say they didn't determine that by throwing darts on a map. They found that when you train at altitude, and there's great benefits that come with that. And I know it's been a great home court advantage for us because we want to play an up and down style. I mean, we want to score in the 80s and the 90s and get teams to come in here that run with us. And when they do that, it's a major advantage for us because most people are coming from sea level, and that's a huge home court for the Buffaloes.
You got to lead me to my next point, Coach, about the player development piece, but also the strength conditioning piece of it, Coach. Because we got to get the nutritionist to be right, the sleep right, but also getting in shape with those lifts. But being in altitude makes it so much more magnified. So like you said, when you have a guy come out there and play you guys, the first 10 minutes of that game, they're out of gas because you all used to altitude, they're not used to it, and they don't have that wind, and you guys can blitz them early at home and jump on them and keep that momentum going the whole game and win kind of that way by your location on GP.
No question, and that is a huge advantage. Now, some teams that are in great shape, it doesn't affect as much, but the teams that aren't, they feel it. Like you said, they feel it early, but they really feel it late in the second half. A lot of those jump shots, those long three balls come up a little short. We get some long rebounds, get out, get some dunks, play in transition, and get the crowd into the game. It's a huge home court advantage for us.
Because being around Atlanta Hawks, player development with our young team has been very, very key. So I want to ask you about at the Pac-12 level, the high major level, how do you go about player development in season and out of season to make sure your guys are getting better all year long and getting stronger all year long?
It's huge for us. It is huge for us because, look, Colorado, I've been here 10 years. We've yet to sign one McDonald's All-American. But we've had 5 players drafted in the NBA draft. And the only way you do that is to develop your players. So you mentioned strength and conditioning. Your strength and conditioning coach is huge on the development piece. Your assistant coaches and your staff are huge in terms of getting in the gym with your players. The NCAA has limitations on that, but we maximize what those limitations are, both in season and out of season, in terms of getting in the gym with our players. And then you have to recruit players that want to get in the gym outside of that and get in there on their own at night or on weekends and get extra shots up. So, that work ethic, there's no shortcuts in life. And to get better, whether it is to get to the NBA or to just become a professional basketball player in general, you got to work at it and you got to develop your players. And that's what we try to do. And the combination of that development and the platform of being able to play the style that I just talked about earlier in terms of getting up and down the floor and playing fast and getting in transition. The combination of those two things make Colorado a very appealing place for young aspiring players.
You got that right, Coach, because, I've had on Coach Mel Tucker as well. He talked about how big coaching at Georgia, moving out to there, is how just the appeal of Colorado resonates with young men. And hearing you talk about it from a basketball perspective, it sounds great to me for a young man from Atlanta who wants to go out there and play with you guys. So going about your recruiting piece of it, Coach, marketing the program, the education you guys have, the location, the college you play in, the development piece going to the NBA, and you're at the top of the Pac-12 right now. You won 23 games last year, so I feel like the recruiting trail, when it's Colorado on the phone, guys are like, I might want to go there for real, and play for that Coach Boy, those guys.
Well, I hope so, and that's the thing. I know there's a lot of good players in the Atlanta area, and obviously we're really excited about Coach Tucker and what he's brought to our campus and coming from Georgia and the SEC. I spent a year at Tennessee way back in the day when I was an assistant. That was a while ago, but I actually spent 2 years as a full-time assistant at Jacksonville State University, which is, as you know, about halfway between Atlanta and Birmingham. So, I've got some ties in the South. It's been a while, but you're right. The hardest thing we have is obviously with kids out in that area is the time difference. A lot of times we're tipping off, at 7:00 at night, which is 9:00 at night there. A lot of guys have gone to bed or, have turned the TV off for the night. But anybody that sees us play sees that, again, this is a great place to go to school. And if we can get kids on campus, it gives us a chance because this is a special place.
Yes, Coach, I definitely agree with you there, Coach. And also special, 11-2 in non-conference play has to make you really happy because non-con's always a trick, no matter how you do it. Schedule's probably the hardest thing you do outside of recruiting. So going 11-2 in non-con has to make you really happy, which probably propelled you to the start you have right now in Pac-12 play.
No doubt. And we started the season over in Shanghai, China, believe it or not. That's where we played our first game. And then we had a really, really big win before Christmas against Dayton. And anybody that hasn't seen Dayton play this year knows, they've missed something because they got a heck of a basketball team with Coach Grant. They got Obi Toppin and a lot of really good players in that team. So we had some good wins early. We followed up with so far in the Pac-12, things have gone well. We just got to keep this train on the tracks because, as you know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we got 7 games left, and 5 of them are on the road, and so it's time to strap up our boots and go to work.
And, Coach, what do you feel like your team has improved on most from November to now? Because I know when you tip off November, you kind of don't really know what you are until you get to play those games, and then you're in conference play and Pac-12 play deep into it. So what do you feel like your team has improved on the most from November to now as we sit here in mid-February here?
We've really become a pretty good offensive team. I think our offense has evolved as the season's gone on. We lead the Pac-12 in field goal percentage right now, and we've got some guys that can really shoot the 3 ball. We had a really big win this weekend against Stanford. We were 8 for 8 from beyond the arc in the second half. Really shot the ball well. We've got a great point guard in McKinley Wright, who's a terrific player. He's on the Bob Cousy award list at top 10 point guards in all of college basketball. And McKinley is kind of the straw that stirs our drink. And then we got a lot of shooters that can make shots around him. And when you've got that, you've got a chance to win every game, every time you step on the floor.
Coach, you have a big game against Oregon at their place coming up on Thursday night. Tell us what you're seeing from those guys on the film as you guys prepare to play those guys up there in the great state of Oregon up there in Eugene.
Well, Oregon's a very talented team. wasn't too long ago they were in the Final Four, and they've recruited extremely well. They've got some really good bigs. They've got a great point guard, Peyton Pritchard, who, like McKinley Wright, is on that Bob Cousy list that I just mentioned. They're well coached. Dane Altman is a terrific basketball coach. So we got our hands full. We got a chance to get Oregon when they were in Boulder early in January. I know they got revenge on their mind. There's no doubt about that. So we're going to be walking into a Hornets nest in Eugene on Thursday night, but should be a heck of a basketball game. Two really good programs going at it.
Coach, you got a young man on your roster about 30 miles north of Atlanta from Sewanee, Maddox Daniels. Tell us about this young man, the way he's meeting your program, this junior guard here you have.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought Maddox up because I was gonna talk about him when I mentioned those shooters. He's a great shooter, and Maddox went to junior college down in Florida for a couple of years, played with his twin brother, and we were lucky enough to get him last spring. We were 11th in the league in 3-point shooting last year, and that was an area that we knew we had to get better at. The player development piece that you mentioned earlier, our players got in the gym this summer and got better, but we also recruited Maddox Daniels, and that's made us a better 3-point shooting team because Maddox is one of those guys, 6'6", good size, really coachable young man. And what I love about coaching him is he can miss 10 shots in a row. Now, he doesn't miss 10 shots in a row, but if he did, that 11th one's going in, and he thinks it's going in, and he shoots it like it's going to go in. And so he's got that short memory that great shooters have to have.
Reminds me of Patrick Mahomes almost in the Super Bowl. Kept on firing away, got the job done.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Now, Coach, that's what I got for you, Coach, this one. Who are some coaches in the business who really helped you along the way, man? Who really gave you a big boost and kind of get you on that path of being the coach you are today and kind of guys you lean on when things get tough for you as well?
Well, that's a good question. I started out as an assistant coach at the University of Oregon, believe it or not. So I'm going back to where kind of my roots began as a collegiate coach in Eugene, Oregon, 26 years ago. Jerry Green was the head coach there at the time. He's since retired, lives down in Florida. He was from North Carolina, was an assistant for Roy Williams at Kansas for many years. And a guy that really got me into the business and got me on Coach Green's staff was Mark Turgeon, who's the head coach at Maryland. And Mark and I played basketball at the University of Kansas together, but he's the one that kind of got me into college coaching, talked me into it, and he's been a great friend and great mentor of mine through the years. I'm very close with some guys out west here. Mark Few's a guy that I lean on a lot. He's a terrific coach, obviously up at Gonzaga. We share thoughts and ideas not only during the season, but certainly in the off season. Leon Rice at Boise State. But I've been very, very lucky to be around and build relationships with great coaches through the years. And like you said, this is a tough job. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, and a lot of ways to skin a cat, as they say. And so it's good to have friends in the coaching business who you trust and can lean on when things get tough.
And, Coach, being somewhere 10 years in this business, with all the turnover that we'll see come March and April, I mean, that's a great thing right there to have the alignment of the president and AD to support you, because I know this coming up in a month or two, we're going to see all this turnover and carousel going, and make it 10 years without it happening to you, man. You're doing a heck of a job in my book.
Well, I appreciate that. But, the one thing I've always learned is it's not about the next job. You better make the job you got the best job that you can make it. And I love the University of Colorado, and I've not gotten involved in that coaching carousel that you're talking about. I don't expect to be involved in it because I think the University of Colorado is the best place to coach in America. It's the best place to play in America, and it's my job to attract student athletes who feel the same way. And I feel like we've done that, and that's why we're having the kind of year we're having so far.
Well, Coach Boy, you're doing a great job in my book. Hope to see you at the Final Four. If you're not playing, hope to see you just there and enjoying the ambiance here in Atlanta. And thank you for your time today. Hope to do it again with you real soon. I really enjoyed our talk this evening.
Absolutely. Great to be with you.
Anytime. Thanks, Coach. Have a great one. We'll talk to you real soon.
Grab a hold of big breakfast flavor at Hardee's. Try 2 breakfast sliders for just $2.99. Get Applewood smoked bacon or freshly grilled sausage with fluffy eggs and golden melty cheese, all on a toasty little bun. Good morning, start at Hardee's. Available now for a limited time at participating restaurants. Tax not included.
Okay, folks, back here on the Bossman Show, here with Link Darner, the coach of the Green Bay Phoenix out of the Horizon League. Coach, how things up there in Green Bay?
Everything's going good. We got a little bit of snow up here, but it's been kind of cold, but everything other than that's going real good.
Hey, Coach, you're in the middle of year 5 of leading the Phoenix. So tell us, what's been your greatest accomplishment in your mind since you've been there these past 5 years?
Well, I think our first year, taking a group of guys that, we got playing really well at the right time of year, and we ended up, winning 4 games in 4 days in the Horizon League tournament, get to the NCAA tournament. And then last year's team, We got playing well at the end of the year. We didn't quite win the Horizon League tournament, but we were able to go play postseason play, and we got 5 extra games in, 4 wins, and got to the championship game of the CIT and played Marshall. And got beat at Marshall in a game that was a lot closer than what the Final Four indicated. But just having that chance to play in that and the success we had in that, those would probably be the 2 big highlights right now.
And yes, you had 21 wins last year, so that CIT run gave you a little jump start on the offseason, getting all those extra weeks to practice and play. And as to the spring and through the summer and the fall, do you see the carryover from that run you guys made with your guys who returned?
Yeah, I think we saw it. I think we saw a little bit extra commitment maybe from them. Some guys maybe in the gym a little bit longer. But, I thought a great summer and fall workouts. We've been battling some injuries. We lost Danny Cohen from last year's team, who led us at every statistical category. And then we lost Shanquan Hempfield this year to an injury. He's been out all year, and he was our second leading rebounder and third leading returning scorer from last year. And we've had to battle through some of those things, but I think it was a good carryover. We played a very tough non-conference schedule, so our record wasn't as good as what, some people might have been, but we went out and played 5 high majors, played at Purdue, played at New Mexico when they were playing well, played at UCF, Wisconsin, and played at Xavier. So we had 5 very tough road games, and but I think we've played well now that we got in the Horizon League, and starting the second half of the Horizon League season, we're right there. We could finish anywhere maybe from 3rd to 8th place.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that as well, because I know in your conference, you have to play guarantee games, raise money for your university. You have to go out on the road, can't get many home games. So I was going to say to you that getting 5 wins, dealing with that kind of situation, it has to make you happy. You might not be as many wins as you want, but when you're playing 5 guarantee games, pretty much they're like, hey, you get them where you can. I hope the guys recover and not be beaten down from that, and we'll get ready for the Horizon League. I think they've done very well and recovered from what I see 7-16 right now in conference play.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to play them, and, we're going to New Mexico, we're going down to Central Florida, but it's something that we have to do for our program, and we understand it. And, the biggest thing is survive, and I always say survive November and December, because we're missing so much school that, you hope your guys don't fall behind academically. And then also, you're probably going to go into conference play with a losing record, is not to have the guys be down, mentally and physically, and not get beat up too much. And I think our guys did a good job of that. And, we bounced back, and we're, a bounce here or there, we'd be 500 overall right now.
Exactly. And also, Coach, I feel like that adversity those guys face has helped them because, the Horizon is a tough league. People don't realize that it's a very tough league from top to bottom. And then this time of year, February into March, those tough times you had in November and December and a few club games that you could have won here or there that, hey, we know how this feels. We will put on the film and see where we made mistakes, make the right rotations, the right reads, so that way when it happens again, such a scenario once more, we can execute the right way and we come out on the right side of it this time.
Well, I think it's helped us on the road because we played very well in some of those games. But at the end of the final score might not have indicated it. But at Purdue, I think it was a 10-point game with about 10 minutes to go. At New Mexico, we were right there. I think it was a 5 or 6 point game with 6 minutes to go, and to fight and battle against those types of teams and be right there, I think gave our guys some confidence. Plus, Purdue's one of the best places to play. Wisconsin's a great place to play, and people that haven't played in New Mexico, that's not an easy place to go play. Neither is Xavier. Is we went into some very tough environments and battled and played well. And I think it helped us carry over when we've done well on the road here in league play, finding ways to get splits on road trips and things like that, which, in our league, we play Thursday, Saturday, or Friday, Sunday. So you're on the road for 2 games. And if you could split it, it's a good weekend. If somehow you could sweep a weekend, it's a great weekend. And we've been very fortunate that we've been able to split them. And now we just got to do a little bit better at home.
And, Coach, speaking of that, what's the bigger piece of the pie people don't realize is strength and conditioning coach is very key right now because you guys have to pretty much play in a one-day prep, playing and off and playing again. The guys have to be in great shape, sleep right, eat right, but the strength coach really has to get those guys in shape in May, June, July, August, September, into October, November, because you guys play 5 months pretty much. You got all those guys in shape and prevent those injuries. So talk about how key is having a great strength conditioning program and eating right, also sleeping right for your guys. There's just time you playing those two games in 3 days on the weekend there.
Yeah, I mean it's key, and it's funny that you bring that up. Is we played IUPUI on Thursday. We played them at 11 a.m. At IUPUI in a kids game. Great atmosphere, and we played extremely well. Had a great first half, and they made a great run, and we ended up winning the game. I think it was 91-86 was the final, and then we bust up to UIC. But we got up to UIC about 3 or 4 o'clock on Thursday, and we spent all day Thursday, all day Friday with a little bit of practice time and watching film and that with the guys. But most of the time laying around, and they may have gotten too much sleep because we didn't come out and play very good on Saturday. So as coaches, we were saying, well, maybe we should have got them out of the hotel more and different things. I think you're up in Chicago right now, but you're afraid if you're in the hotel in Chicago and you go somewhere that it might take you an hour, hour and a half to get back to the hotel. So we were afraid of doing that. But sleeping and eating is very important, and I think kids do a better job probably this day and age with it than we did back when I played. But it's a big thing, getting 8, 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep and getting good sleep, not sleeping for 2 hours during the day and 2 hours when you get home from practice and then staying up till 2 in the morning, then sleeping 6 hours. But it's a big key in the way we play. Our guys have to be well rested, and we make sure that here at the end of the year we're not over practicing them. We're going about an hour and 15 minutes right now, and we're doing a lot of more half court stuff than we would be doing up and down because we only have 11 guys. We got 4 guys out with injuries. We can't wear our guys down, and we can't afford to get a guy hurt.
Got that right there, Coach. For a young man from Atlanta who wants to play in the Horizon League, just talk a little bit much more about the Green Bay, the school, and the program up there that you guys have built up there. Because all of us know about the Green Bay Packers, but we don't know about the Green Bay Phoenix. So tell us a little bit more about the school and the program, you guys, for the guys out in Atlanta who may want to come up that way and learn more about your program.
Well, the great thing is we have 2 direct flights from Atlanta to Green Bay now. So that's the first great thing. So, you don't have to go from Atlanta to Chicago or Detroit or whatever to get here. It's a great place. We got a great school, great academic school. We got great facilities. We play here on campus some of our games at the Crest Center, which is mainly our girls' gym. But then we play down by Lambeau Field, which is quite an experience. It's a great thing having the Packers here. Our guys get great exposure to media. Because of the Packers, we have a lot of, we have all the news stations come and cover us. Our guys get put in front of a microphone. But the community is a great community. It's a community that wants to win, and we play right down there and play at the Resch Center. It holds about 8,000 people for our games, and it's a great atmosphere, and we get great turnouts, and it's a great place to come and play. But it's also a great school. Kids come here and get a great education.
You got that right, Coach. I've been to Green Bay a few times with the Atlanta Falcons, and we came there last December the 8th, and December 18th we came there. It was pretty cold that day. I was on the field with the Falcons, and I about turned into a popsicle, but I enjoyed the experience of the Lambeau Field for sure.
It's an unbelievable atmosphere on Packers weekends. They're out and around and everything. I think it's a great place to be, and I love it here up in Green Bay.
Now, Coach, you got Milwaukee coming to play those guys this weekend here. Talk about what they do, what Pat Baldwin is, the guys are showing you on film. I know they've been better this year than they were last year. So talk about the Milwaukee matchup you got coming, the instant rivalry you have with the Milwaukee team there in the Horizon League.
Well, it's funny because me and Pat, Pat went to Northwestern, I went to Purdue. We played against each other in college, and now we're coaching against each other. But he's got a very good team. They're a tough team to guard. They got really good guards in Lucas and Roy, and they really took it to us the first time. They beat us here at our place. I believe it was 87-80, and we had a hard time guarding their guards. We got to do a much better job guarding them, and we got to take care of the ball against them. They really get up in pressure, kind of the way I used to play. We need to get back to playing that way, but they really get up and full court pressure you and get after you on the defense and cause you to do some things that you don't want to do on offense. But the big thing is can we guard their guards? Can we keep their guards from having a big night? And they got other guys, Abrams and Thomas and other guys that can score too, but making sure that we contain Lucas and Roy and not let them have, I think last time they both had like 28 on us.
Now, Coach, that's what I got for you. This is who are some coaches who's been really key to you in your career, professionally and personally, and really kind of help mold you as a man and make you the coach you are today?
Well, I think the first person is my father. I had the opportunity to play for him in Anderson, which in Indiana, which is a basketball capital of the world back when I played. Playing in front of sellout crowds all the time and huge gyms. Gyms that seat 7, 8, 9,000. But my dad, he's the one that got me interested in wanting to be a coach. And then of course, Coach Katie, I played for him. For 4 years at Purdue, and then had the opportunity to stay. And then I worked for a guy at Ashland University, Roger Lyons, that I kind of developed our system that we play now. Kind of took a lot of things that he taught me then. But I'd say those three guys have all had big influence in my coaching career and where I'm at now.
Well, Coach, thank you for coming on the show today. I appreciate it. Good to catch up with you for the first time. Do it again with you real soon. And best luck to you against the Milwaukee Panthers there. And hope to talk to you. We'll see you at the Final Four if you come down here for that. Come down Atlanta for that, man, Coach.
Sounds good. I'd love to. Thank you for having me on.
Anytime. Have a great one now.
All right, you too.
Sally Beauty's new all-in-one hair color kits make it easy to color your hair at home. Get everything you need to color for beautifully radiant results. Loved by professionals, open to everyone. Sally Beauty.
All right, folks, back on the Bossman show here with the coach of the Kentucky Colonels out of Richmond, Kentucky, A.W. Hamilton. Coach, what's good with you guys up there in Richmond, man?
Man, JR, I appreciate you guys having me on, man. I appreciate you having me on. And everything is good down in Richmond, Kentucky. It's not as cold as where you're at, so we're good.
I hear that, man. Well, talk to me, Coach. We talked to you when you first got the job in 2018. What's been the biggest improvements you made in the program since you took over full-time as the head man in Eastern Kentucky up there in Richmond, up there near Las Vegas, as they call it?
Well, you know what we've done? We've established our brand of basketball. We've got an identity. We play really fast and we press. And, last year we were number 2 in the country in steals per game and forced turnovers. And, this year we rank in the top 5 in both categories. And, so it's an exciting brand of basketball that we've established here, and I'm really proud of my kids. And, they've had a great conference run so far. We're 9-3 in the OVC and in 3rd place right now.
Yeah, and I know last year it was very key to you having that fall, spring, and summer to kind of set your standard once more for guys who are returning. So talk to us about that piece of player development that you guys did this offseason to kind of get ready for the season. Because, this year you came out, had a tough non-con, but you recovered real well against the 9-3 in the OVC right now.
Yeah, it was a tough non-conference for us. We've had a lot of guys go down with injuries. We've had 2 guys with knee injuries. We've had a foot injury. We've had one kid that is an academic redshirt. So we've had a little bit of everything happen to us in the non-conference. And, we went through a lot of adversity, and we were searching to try to figure out who we were and how we're going to score, how we're going to defend, and, having our identity as this team. So, we've come a long way in a short amount of time, and, I'm really proud of our guys, and, they fought through it. They could have easily laid down after a tough non-conference, but they responded and, got off to a great start in our league. It was actually the best start in 41 years at Eastern Kentucky.
I hear that, man. You know what? I feel like with that start you got off to so far, 9-3, So got some games to go here with obviously Truman Evansville comes up here, Coach. So I feel like the recruiting trail is going to treat you really well because of you guys showing that great progress. Your style of play is very fun. Reminds me of 40 Minutes of Hell to a degree. I know Richardson almost to a degree the way y'all press and running gun there. So I think guys want to play that system, have fun that way. So I know in Eastern Kentucky calls that people are like, okay, I might really want to go there and play for Coach Hamilton and have some fun out there in the court.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When you talk to any recruit and you ask them what type of style they want to play, they always say they want to get up and down and play fast. And, we're able to say that we really do that. And so, we've got a great recruiting class coming in. We signed 2 guards who we absolutely love. And, both of them will have a major impact in the program next year. So we're excited how recruiting's going. We love the young pieces that we've got here already. So, we feel like the future is very bright here at Eastern Kentucky.
And, Coach, at your level, at the mid-major level, you have to really be conscious of strength and conditioning because I feel like you guys play from November through March. So you got to be very much in shape. Talk about the sleep piece of it, nutrition piece of it, and also getting the lifts in so the guys are strong from November to March to play hard for you guys and not break down on you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's critical. We've got a great strength program here. We got a great nutrition system here, and we're really proud of that at Eastern Kentucky. You know, and what we do is, you know, we basically in conference play, we play every Thursday and Saturday. So what happens for us is Monday morning is a lift day, Tuesday morning is a lift day. We do a recovery lift on Friday. But all my guys are in the weight room basically every day, whether it's stretching or going to the nutrition station and getting extra calories and protein and different things that they may need. So it's critical because it's such a long season and the conference schedule is such a grind, and we're in such a tough league. So, you know, the kids got to do a great job of taking care of their body.
You got that right. And, Coach, now on the court-wise, what do you feel like your team's really improved on from November to this point as we sit here in mid-February?
Yeah, you know what we've done really well? You know, we're moving the ball much better. We're getting better shots. We're playing much better as a team. You know, we have great chemistry. So if you look at our numbers, our shooting percentages have skyrocketed. You know, our assist-to-turnover ratio is positive now. So, you know, we're doing a good job valuing the basketball, at the same time turning our opponents over and getting good shots and guys playing to their strengths. So, you know, and that sometimes takes time. You know, you got a lot of young guys, and, you know, everybody was the best player on their high school team. So, you know, these guys have really settled into their roles and to play into their strengths.
And, Coach, talk about that a little bit more, because I feel like that's the biggest key for a college coach is getting young men who've been the man on that AAU team or a high school team to buy into this being a screener or it's a defender or a 3-and-D guy or it's a passive facilitator or being just a lockdown defender. So getting young men 18 years old who have egos to buy into roles, how do y'all go about making these young men see the bigger picture, not just seeing what's good for them?
Well, you know, when you have success and you start winning, it makes it a lot easier. You know, when you lose some games, everybody, you know, the natural thing to do is to point a finger and say, hey, it was because of him, or, you know, I didn't get enough shots. And, you know, these guys, I give my kids a lot of credit. They really accepted their roles. They really bought into it. And the way we play, you know, we play a high possession game. Our goal is we want to get up 70 shots per game. So, you know, that's a lot of shots. So everybody can get the ball. Everybody touches the ball. Everybody has an opportunity to make plays. So, you know, with our style, it helps balance some of that out because we get so many shots and we have so many possessions in the game.
And, Coach, I feel your style of play will help you come Evansville, because guys don't want to play that way. They have to deal with that in a tournament set, especially on that back-to-back night there. You know, if you get that bye, you know, playing you on a back-to-back, you're dealing with your pressure and your pace. That could come in handy for a team who doesn't want to deal with that on that when their legs a little bit shaky already.
Yeah, no question. You know, I was fortunate to play at the college level, and, you know, I played at Marshall University, and I remember playing against UAB when they had Mike Anderson, and I hated to play against them, you know, because they press and trap you, and it was constant pressure. So, you know, that's what we want to do to our opponents, just constantly put pressure on them and, you know, make them play, you know, uncharacteristic and out of their normal style. So it's a tough style to play against, and, you know, especially as you get better at playing this style.
And also, you guys have been defending home court very, very well this year. Talk about how you've emphasized to your young men that we need to really defend our home court in Richmond and try to split on the road, especially those weekends where you got 2 road games. Try to split, at least get one of them.
Yeah, you know, winning at home is so important. And, you know, I give our fans most of the credit. They have been behind us. When you come to Richmond, Kentucky, you can count on the crowd being electric. I mean, it's our fans are incredible. They're energetic. They get into the game. They don't just sit down. They stand up. They yell. They scream. So, you know, we've had some tight games at home that we've been able to win. You know, and I give a lot of that credit to our fans because, gosh, as hard as we play, they cheer even harder. So it's been exciting for us.
And, Coach, you got a big matchup, in-state matchup. Your in-state rival, Morehead State, coming up there on Thursday night. Talk to us about what's on film for Morehead State and Coach Spradlin and his guys.
Coach Spradlin, he does a really good job. They play extremely hard. They do a great job in their ball screen coverage, and, you know, they're tough. They're a tough team. So it'll be a huge challenge for us on the road. It's a great rivalry game. I grew up in Georgetown, Kentucky, so, you know, I've followed this rivalry all my life. So, I'm proud to finally be part of it. And, we look forward to going down there and playing the game. I mean, it's a tough place to play, and, so it'll be a great challenge for us.
How much of a blast has it been for you being back home in your home state, being able to lead EKU, being back around familiar surroundings? So how cool has that been for you being able to coach and just in your own domain pretty much?
Listen, it's a dream come true. Listen, I got built-in babysitters with my parents and my wife's family and her parents, so it's been great. And we love being back in Kentucky. My wife's a cheerleading coach here at Eastern. And, she's having the time of her life. Coaching the cheerleaders. They just finished number 3 in the country in the nationals, and so she's having a blast. My kids love it here, and I feel like I'm coaching the Boston Celtics, man. JR, I'm having the time of my life.
I hear that, man. Well, I'll tell you what, Coach, best luck to you for sure this weekend against Moorhead. I know you got a trip to do it Austin P. I think on you got to do Austin P, don't you, on Saturday, correct?
Yep, we got Austin P on
so
Saturday.
I know it's a tough, and Matt figured does a great job, but he's very intense, so I know it's going to be a tough battle for both of you guys, man, on Saturday as well. Best luck to you in both of those, Coach.
Man, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime, Coach. Hope to see you at the Final Four, man.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
How do you feel about your office? Is it just a space for your company, or is it a space to help you grow your company? From new HQs to satellite offices, with WeWork, you can find a space that works for you. Visit we.co/space matters to learn more.
All right, what's back on the Bossman show? We're here with Georgia Southern's head coach, Coach Mark Byington. Coach, how you doing, man?
I'm good. It's a great time of year. February basketball leads to March basketball, so it's a great time of year for college basketball.
Yes, indeed. Well, Coach, you're in the middle of year 7, man, and I know you've been doing a good job at the Georgia Southern since you've been there, man. So for you, has it been like 7 years in your mind, Coach, that you all been here that long already?
Nah, there's a phrase I think's accurate that sometimes the days go by slow, but the years go by fast, and I think that's accurate here. Where it's been a lot of long days and a lot of hard work, but then to think I've been here 7 years, it doesn't feel that way. And we came in here, we wanted to build something up, we wanted to have a good basketball program, a good basketball culture, and we did that. And now to maintain that and get to the next level is even more work. So. I surrounded myself with players that like to work and put their head down. The same thing with my staff, and that's what we're doing.
And, Coach, I thought it's been a great accomplishment at being Georgia Southern all these years. I mean, you've had some great 20-win seasons over the years here, different things you've accomplished. But what do you feel like being a great accomplishment in your mind when you're still athletes and your staff?
Well, the first thing I would say is we got a 100% graduation rate, and I've graduated every single senior that's been here in 7 years, and I think we're up to like 27 out of 27 now, and so. The wins have been great, but that makes me feel good. And then, so we're coming off back-to-back 20-win seasons, first time in 30 years in the school's history. And we've been right there at the top of the Sun Belt. We've been top 5 every year, and then 3, and then 2 a couple times. And we've been everything but 1. And, we got a chance again this year. Right now we sit in second place with 6 games to go, and we got a chance again this year to kind of get up there and win another one, but we got to get a little luck and get some things to fall our way, and then hopefully things do when we get down to New Orleans in March.
Coach, you had 21 wins last season, so I know in the spring and summer and fall you want to get your guys that we want to achieve this and then some. So where did you guys prioritize the offseason trying to get your guys ready for this year and to want to go far, like you said, get that first place finish this time and then go to the NCAA tournament?
Well, it was a big adjustment. So we lost a conference player of the year in Tukey Brown, who's playing professional basketball now. And we had to kind of get a new identity without him because we were so reliant on him in a lot of different areas and leadership. And he was the best first team all conference point guard for 4 straight years. And first time it's ever happened in Sun Belt history. And so we lose him. And so we had to have a new identity. We took our team to Spain this past summer and did a foreign trip over there to kind of start creating it. And we've got 5 seniors this year, and they've done a good job of kind of stepping up and doing different things. And it's been a challenging year. I mean, for all the good things, we've had to deal with a lot of adversity. We've had a lot of injuries, a lot of different lineup changes. And the guys that have stayed the course and kept working. And so I think we're playing our best basketball of the year right now, which I think any coach would want to say.
Got there, right? This is what I call the money time. If we're in the March, it's money time. All that hard work pays off this time of year for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You want to be peaking at the right time, and I hear a lot of coaches talk about you want a slow climb, and that's what I feel like we're doing. Is we've been climbing up since we started November, and then keeping on going, and we're starting to know our roles and who can do what, and we just coming off a great road swing. We just won 2 road games out of Louisiana, and we're starting to do things a little bit better in every area, which I like to say.
Now, Coach, speaking of pieces, that strength conditioning program you guys have is very key to getting these young men not to get injured, getting them those lifts in as well, getting to sleep right and eat right. So talk about that program you guys have, trying to make sure your young men are maintaining and healthy and their bodies not overworked, but they're strong to play for you this time of year where it's the dog days here before March Madness hits.
I swear you were just in our last team meeting about what you're saying right there, because what we're talking about this time of year, the difference a lot of times is, how much the guys are taking care of their body and valuing sleep and getting extra rehab and eating right and doing different stretching routines. And so, it's a long, long season, but you want to be as mentally fresh and physically fresh as you can. And so we emphasize that a ton with our athletic trainers, our strength coaches, and making sure guys are eating the right things and putting the right things in their body. So it's very, very important. And, especially in college basketball, we have hard travel. I mean, we're on buses for 6, 7, 8 hours and planes and connecting things and different that. So the better you can take care of yourself usually leads to better performance.
Now, Coach, with your success you've had at Georgia Southern, how's recruiting trail treat you in your program? Because I feel like you've won a lot. You're a known brand in the state of Georgia. So when you go to recall a young man that want to come to your program, I feel like with the wins that you've been doing since you've been there, guys should want to come down and play for you in Statesboro.
Yeah, and it wasn't that way when we first started. And, we had to first, find guys that might have been not quite as talented, but just, believed in our culture and what we wanted to do here and kind of putting things together. And then next thing you know, you have success, and then some people actually want to start coming to your place, and they'll recruit us as much as we recruit them. And that's been the change, where we've kept the character the same, but every year we're kind of upping the talent more and more and getting more talented guys. And so we have a really talented roster right now with great young men, and it just keeps building up every year.
And, Coach, I'd be happy with this. You got 6 wins in non-conference play, knowing that you got to play on the road most of the time. Can't get games in Statesboro, really. You have to go deal with playing guarantee games as well, raise money for the university. So getting 6 wins with those layers attached to it, you got to feel real good about that.
Yeah, you got to be careful at our level. The non-conference schedule can beat you up. And we had, a couple of games. We had 2 SEC teams, and, we're playing Auburn the first game of the year. And with 4 minutes to go, we're actually down 2 points, and we played them to a 9-point game, and then they went off and ran about 20 straight after that. And then we played Georgia right before Christmas, and that one still bothers us, because with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in that game, we were winning, and then we had a bad stretch down the end. We couldn't get stops at the end, and learned a lot, and ended up losing that one by 9. Yeah, we had some good SEC teams that we played, some good competition, but that builds us up for Sun Belt play, and that's really what we want for our main goal.
And on court, Coach, what do you feel like your team really has improved on from November to now here in February as we sit here before you play Coastal tomorrow?
Yeah, we figured out, how to have more composure on offense. We figured out, how to have to run in different styles of defense that can be effective. And we really haven't done anything new since November. But what we're doing is we're doing everything better and just being more comfortable.
I hear that, Coach. I say, once you get those reps in and get out of that non-con slate where you playing against guys on your level, the guys should feel more confident. Like, we was at Georgia competing with those guys, at Auburn competing with those guys. We're playing Little Rock or Georgia State or whoever, or South Alabama. You're on our level, so we're not scared of you. We can compete with you. If we do our things the right way, we should win that game for sure.
Yeah, I think our guys always feel that way, no matter who they're playing against. But I tell you what, anybody comes and watches some Sun Belt basketball, I mean, there are some dudes in this league now. Like, there are some really, really good players, and every night's a challenge. And you take one little step backwards in a game, and you're going to get beat. So you better come prepared every single night in this league.
Now, Coach, defending the home court's been something for you guys. I've noticed you've been winning a lot of games at home. So talk about that, defending the home court being very much of an emphasis with your guys, because we want to get those home wins for sure. Hope to split on the road on those road weekends, Thursday and Saturday games you guys play.
Yeah, we're 10-2 at home this year, and we haven't played as great here lately, but we ran into some good teams, and so we've been a little more inconsistent at home than actually on the road. And so on the road right now in conference, we're 4-3 and have a winning record, which I think is great. You know, I think any coach would take that in the road games and league play. But we got two big ones this weekend. We got, like you said, Coastal on Thursday night, and we got App State on Saturday night. And if we want to stay at the top of this league, we got to defend our home court for sure.
And, Coach, you talk about Coastal a little bit. What's on film from Cliff Ellis's team? I know he's a old veteran of the game. He's been around a long time. He likes to, do the different schemes. So what you see on film from Cliff and his guys there?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Ellis has almost 900 wins, so there's nothing he hasn't seen or hasn't done. So they got a really good point guard. Devontae Jones is a terrific point guard, and they got shooters around him, and they got a great size. Coach Ellis is always switching defenses up and doing different things. So we beat them at third place, but we beat them by 3, and they had a 3-pointer that would have tied the game and just missed. So we always have some good battles with Coastal Carolina.
Now, Coach, talk about recruiting Atlanta area. You got 3 young men on your roster now from the Atlanta metro area. Talk about how important of recruiting ground is for you guys to come get guys from the city of Atlanta, bring them down to Statesboro, and get them a chance to play some real ball for you and your program.
Well, it's not just for us, but for everybody. It's probably the most fertile basketball area in the country. And it's easily to say, it's probably either Houston, Atlanta, or D.C. And, obviously with Atlanta being close to us, we have so many alums in the area down there that, that are teachers, that are basketball coaches. And we got a good player from Newton coming here next year in Caleb Bird, and we're always recruiting the area. And we try to get as many as we can. But everybody else in the country wants to come to Atlanta and recruit too. So sometimes we're battling different schools from all the different across the states and countries and everywhere else. But we try to get in there as much as we can because it's been really, really good to us.
Coach, last one I got, a guy from your first staff, Coach Randy Peel. Tell us a little bit about Coach Peel and give us a good story about my guy, Coach Peel. He's one of my closest friends in the business. Tell us a little bit about Coach Peel when he met your staff the first 1 year he was there with you. We went to TSU with Coach Ford there.
Yeah, he's the absolute best. So I got the job here my first year, and I didn't have head coaching experience. And I wanted a veteran guy who I knew, I trust, I could bounce ideas off of. And Coach Peel came down here my first year, and what was great for me and great for our program. Got us off to a great start. But, I mean, you talk about a worker. I mean, he works so hard. He prepares so hard. He had success at Winthrop as a head coach. He's been a great assistant. He's just a great teacher of the game, just an encyclopedia, really knows the game, has great ideas. And my favorite thing about him is he still wants to learn. I mean, he is eager to learn, and I think that's a sign of any good coach.
You got there right, Coach Peel. He also life too. He gives me life advice all the time when I talk to him. So Coach Peel's a great guy, Coach B. So whatever, and talk to you about him real quick, man. Hey, Coach, let's up to you. The Marcus Coastal. Hope to see you real soon, man. At the Final Four, at least, man, when you come up here.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, JR. Appreciate it, man.
Anytime, Coach.
Grab a hold of big breakfast flavor at Hardee's. Try 2 breakfast sliders for just $2.99. Get Applewood smoked bacon or freshly grilled sausage with fluffy eggs and golden melty cheese, all on a toasty little bun. Good morning, start at Hardee's. Available now for a limited time at participating restaurants. Tax not included.
All right, folks, back here on the Bossman Show here with Coach Andy Toole, coach of the Robert Morris Colonials out of the NEC. Coach, what's up, man?
Not much, boss man. Good to hear your voice. Good to be back on the show.
Yes, indeed, Coach. You're in the middle of year 10 leading the Colonials, man. What do you think has been a great accomplishment since you got to over this program?
I think we've accomplished a lot. We've had a lot of success over the 10 years. I've been in the program totally for 13 years. I'm on 3 NCAA tournaments, fan IT, won 5 of those season championships. We've done a lot on the court as well as off the court. We've graduated 32 out of the 34 seniors that have been here during that time. So I feel like we've accomplished a lot of things in the classroom and on the court.
And, Coach, longevity in this business is very, is very rare to say. And, so much turnover every spring. So I feel like you have a good AD, a good president that supports you, to allow you to be somewhere 10 years in today's climate.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to be able to be at the same school for as long as I've had. We just opened a new arena on campus, 4,000-seat arena, $51 million we raised for it. And you don't do those kind of things without great support from your administration. And so, to be somewhere for a decade, to be able to help kind of move the program forward, open a brand new facility, all those things are in partner with your AD, with your president, with your board of trustees, with your boosters. I mean, everybody has stepped up and allowed us to kind of, grow our program and make the improvements and invest in our program so that our student athletes can have a great experience.
Now, Coach, you had 18 wins last year, Coach. So what did you guys prioritize in the offseason, that fall, and that spring, and that summer piece of it to get the guys ready for this season? You guys are playing very well so far. It's currently tied for first right now with Merrimack.
We really prioritize our guys, getting as strong, get their bodies as ready as they possibly could. We have a great strength conditioning coach who is on our guys 3-4 days a week. He's really helped them not only with lifting and their agility and all the athletic, things you need to be able to do to be a successful Division I player. He's also done a great job with nutrition, talking to them about sleep, all the things to try and maintain and create good habits so your body can stay strong throughout the season. And, that was something we really focused on. We were able to add, a couple of good players to our program and to our roster, AJ Brahma, Jalen Hawkins, two guys that, come off the bench for us that have really contributed in a major way. So I think we've done a couple of things, to help our team improve on the court. And we really worked on our connectivity as a team off the court, doing as much stuff as we can, team bonding, team building, getting guys to trust each other and understand that, the more connected we are off the court, the better we're going to play on it.
And, Coach, going a little bit deeper there, think about this, like the sleep piece of it, the nutrition piece of it, and, of course, the lifting you guys do to keep your guys from getting injured. So talk about that, how important strength conditioning is very key with the strength conditioning coach and the players committing to that system and not cheating themselves and being healthy to play hard for you mid-February and into March here during the dog days of February.
Well, I think sometimes the teams that are the healthiest, at this time of year sometimes can play the best. So, making sure that you're building your body for the length of the season. And now, with summer workouts, with preseason workouts, I mean, this is a long stretch that we've been going at it. Our guys got back on campus in August, and we started workouts right away. And, now it's already February. So these guys have been going at it for a long time. And I think unless you're doing all the required steps in terms of taking care of your body, eating properly, sleeping properly, you can't go out and compete the way you want to compete day in and day out. And I think sometimes when guys get into our program, maybe at the high school level or junior college level, you might be able to get away with some of those things because you're just a better player or a better athlete or whatever. But Division I basketball, everybody has talent, everyone has athletic ability, and if you're not having the proper habits on a daily basis, your body's going to break down, your mind's going to break down. And so it's something that we really put a lot of effort into, talk to our guys a lot about. Our strength coach, he's always asking guys how much they slept night in and night out. He provides training table for those guys, making sure they're getting nutritious meals so that they're fueling their bodies in the right way. He says to them all the time, you're not going to get very far on a quarter tank of gas. And so, he's got them to understand and believe in, all the things that they're putting into their body and the way that they're taking care of their body is going to pay dividends for them on the court.
Yes, indeed. And, Coach, I also got to mention about you being there 10 years. I know when Robert Morris calls now, people know this is a brand name and know you've been doing a good job there. So on the recruiting trail, when you make the phone call, the guys kind of know about your program, know what you guys are about, and are excited to get that phone call to play for you and your program. Yeah,
they've certainly, they certainly know our program, more than they did in the past. We still got to educate them on certain things, but, guys are familiar with it. Parents are familiar with it. They've seen us, in the NCAA tournament, in the NIT, on ESPN, on CBS Sports Network, on national television, so they have a little more notoriety in terms of brand recognition, but we're still trying to grow that. We're still trying to push that forward and still trying to identify the right people that are going to come in and be willing to work and do the things that we're going to ask them to do and that the game requires you to do each and every day.
Got that right, Coach. And I know, like I said, Coach, I know the non-conference slate wasn't what you wanted to be only getting 4 wins, but considering all things, having to play guaranteed games, having to play on the road a lot, 4 wins not what you wanted, but the fact that your guys got through that dueling gruel you guys had there, and now you guys are 10-2 in conference play now, heading to play Mount St. Mary's tomorrow.
Yeah, we have some experienced guys, and they've been through it before, and it's never easy. And we only have 3 non-conference home games, like you said, and so you're on the road a lot. You're playing some of the big boys, but we want to give our guys an opportunity to compete against the best. Go to Marquette, go to UNLV, go to Notre Dame, play against Pitt. Those are the kind of games that guys want to be a part of, and so we give our guys opportunities. And we learned a lot about our team during that time. We learned a lot about how important the details are. We learned a lot about how playing all 40 minutes are. There were stretches in those games where we played well and competed, but we just didn't do it long enough. And so there were a lot of things we learned. We put our guys into a lot of adverse situations, and to their credit, they rose to the challenges, and they stayed together. They continued to work, and I think that's helped us get on the roll that we've been on in conference play.
Yeah, I feel like, Coach, once you go through that gauntlet, I mean, the young men faced some adversity, and they got through it and kept their heads up. Now you're playing guys on our level now. Like, we've already played the big boys. We've got that big boost to play these big guys. So now, okay, we've said the different styles, the different ways to play. We can go in our conference and play any style they want to throw at us. We've seen it already. Most likely, we can deal with it and win those games. We play the right way each night.
And, we've certainly been able to adapt during our conference play. There have been some games that have been high scoring, some games that have been low scoring, some games at a fast tempo, some games at a slow tempo, and our guys have really adjusted to each and every one of those situations. And most importantly, they stayed together, continued to follow our formula, and made the right plays when we needed them to make.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, also what's been good about your team is you're 7-2 at defending your home court. I know you don't give me home games as you wanted non-conference wise, but in conference play, 7-2 at home so far. It makes you feel good that you guys are defending the home court there.
Yeah, like I said, we just opened a brand new arena, so we've gotten some good crowds, good energy in the building when we've been able to be home. And in the Northeast Conference, that the conference tournament is played at home sites, and so we wanted to finish out this regular season strong, and then as we get into conference play, hopefully be able to host a couple of these conference tournament games and use that home crowd and home court advantage to our benefit.
And, Coach, also another important for about seeding as well. I know, like I said, you guys are tied up there with Mary and Mac now, especially when you have an on-campus non-conference tournament set up, that those home games are so very, very crucial and key. So do you emphasize that with your young men and say, hey, we want to get seeding, or you're just kind of taking it a game at a time, not really talking about the seeding, the kind of let that all stuff handle itself?
Well, you're right. Like, we talk about it a game at a time, but we know that if we stack some games together, we're going to put ourselves in a good spot. And we try to make sure that guys keep their focus on the things that are important. The possessions defensively, the execution offensively, doing all those little things, and then all of a sudden, day after day after day, if you do them right, you put yourself in a spot where you might be able to host some games. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. We kind of started to touch our guys a little bit about we're in the last third of our conference play, our final 6 conference games, and we've worked hard to put ourselves in this position, and we got to keep doing what we've done to make us successful. And if we can continue to do it here over these next 6 games, we'll really like where we finish the regular season at. Still a lot of basketball to be played and a lot of good teams to compete against, but we've worked hard to get where we are, and we want to keep it going.
And what are you seeing on film from Mount St. Mary's? I know you got those guys coming out here tomorrow. What are you seeing those guys on film as you're all prepared for them?
Yeah, we watched a lot of film, gone over scout. They're a really hard-playing team. They're a bunch of sophomores. Last year they were, one of the youngest teams in the country. And towards the end of the year, they really came on strong. Dan Engelstad, who's their coach, does a great job. And, Vado Morse was the rookie of the year in our league last year. He's a sophomore for them. He's their second leading scorer right now. And, they got a really good backcourt of Vado Morse and Damian Chung-Kui. And, those guys are hard to handle. And they've been defending people. Malik Jefferson and is their interior guy who really defends the paint, defends the rim, rebounds the basketball. And, we've always had battles with Mount St. Mary's over my time at Robert Morris. And, tomorrow will be no different. A really hard-fought, intense game where you're going to have to work for every single bucket you get and every point you make.
Well, Coach, best luck to you tomorrow, Coach. 2 on the bus right now. But thank you for taking time to do it today. Talk to you real soon. Or see the Final Four in Atlanta coming up here in April.
That'd be great, boss man. I'd appreciate that.
Anytime, Coach. Have a good one. Talk to you real soon, buddy.
I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.